Mother's Day is right around the corner, so we decided it would be fun to talk with a mother and scientist who is involved in teaching others about how to mitigate some of the difficulties of climate change. So I'm thrilled to introduce Dr. Erica Smithwick. She's a distinguished professor of geography here at Penn State and a member of Science Moms. She's also a mother of three herself. Welcome to the program, Erica.
Thank you so much. It's great to be here. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. So just tell us a little bit what Science Moms is and what the point of it is.
Sure. Yeah. Science Moms is a group of climate scientists who also are mothers. And we decided that we were concerned enough about our kids' futures that we wanted to support other moms who we thought might also be concerned about their kids' futures and give them information so that they can help make more informed decisions.
So why target moms specifically?
Oh, well, two reasons. The first reason is moms are superheroes. We know how to get things done, right? And so if you empower a group of moms to actually make a difference in the world, it actually might happen. We're also really, we think moms are passionate about their kids and about their kids' future and really care about this topic and are willing to actually take action on it. And then a related reason is that moms are a huge market force. The decisions we make every day in the grocery store, buying clothes for our kids, making decisions about the home. Frankly, we're doing a lot of that work. And it's if we come together around some of those decisions, we can actually move the needle on some of the climate challenges we're facing.
So moms who aren't scientists can get involved.
Absolutely. Yeah, we are not all scientists, are we? No, so that's our role here is to, as science moms, are helping to translate that science to everyday moms. Our website at Science Moms, you can just Google us. We have lots of resources. There are books for moms to learn about how to get involved. There are also books for kids. If you want to teach your kids a little bit more about climate change, and might want a little more structure about how you talk about that. There's also some really great TED Talks, and we're building that content daily. So there should be more to find there as well. You also can reach out to us. Part of what we do at Science Moms is we want to talk about it. We want to engage. We want to talk with you if you have questions about topics like wildfires. Talk to us about it.
So what can families do to address climate change?
Yeah, the first thing is to talk about it with each other. Surprisingly, we don't really talk about it. It's sort of there, it's in the news, but nobody's really having conversations about what do we care about as a family? How are we going to make decisions as a family about the challenges of climate change? And so engaging in activities around just exploring nature, for example, could be one thing that you decide is important to your family, and that's good work. And then there may be more complicated decisions that you want to make as a family around how you travel, what you eat, where you go. I mean, these are all things you can decide as a family what feels appropriate to you.
So you mentioned the Science Moms website earlier, and I noticed on there they list 3 things that people can do to take on climate change, and they all start with the letter S. Can you tell us a little bit all 3 and why they're so important?
Yeah, these are three S words that we think are really important to keep in mind when you are facing the complexity of what do I do about this big topic of climate change. So the 3 words are swap, share, and speak up. So what do they mean? Swap means choose cleaner things. Get rid of your carbon polluting things and switch to cleaner choices. So this means if you have a gas stove but it's broken, buy an electric stove. This is better for your health inside the house. It also happens to have a better climate number, right? It's going to pollute less. If you are ready to swap out windows, buy more efficient windows so your home could be more efficient. So the things we do in our house, those choices really do matter and they really do add up. And again, as I said, they are a market signal to companies to start producing more of these kinds of choices. The second one is to share, to really talk about the solutions that you're finding in your everyday life, to talk about some of your questions that you have, and to talk with neighbors and friends and family and say, hey, I'm kind of interested in this. Are you? And how can we do something together? Talk with your school board, talk with local governments. Those would be ways to get engaged and just start the conversation. And then the third one is to speak up, to start talking with leaders and decision makers that this matters to you. Climate change is something that we think moms really care about, but it doesn't end up as sort of the number 1 or 2 priorities. And thus decisions aren't really driven by that. But it turns out if you solve climate change, you're also solving for economic prosperity. You're also solving for jobs. And you're creating a better future for for us all, but especially for our kids. And so we have to change the narrative, and we really would like moms to start having these conversations with leaders.
Do you mind telling us anything that your family has done?
Yeah, the first thing I'll tell you is that we're not perfect. I'm the first to admit I'm not climate perfect. But I think what you can do is try to be climate better, right? Just try to do one or two more things. So in my household, we are vegetarian. I was basically raised that way. And so that's just the way I raised my kids. And you don't miss it. And eating a plant-based diet is better for the earth. Now, not everybody is going to feel comfortable making that decision, and that's totally fine. But it is true that if you swap out your beef for some chicken and just eat a more plant-based diet, maybe have vegetarian Mondays, this actually makes a difference. Every single change does make a difference and does add up. I'm also a time in my life where we can afford a hybrid vehicle when we were in the market for a car. And one important thing that I've learned along the way is that it's pretty easy to switch to renewable energy sources to fuel the electricity in your home. And it's pretty easy to do. You call up one of these companies, you shop around for a good price, and then they make the switch for you with your utility. And that's a way then when you have your electric stove or you're charging an electric vehicle, you're charging it with renewable energy. And that can make a really big difference. And it's really not hard to do.
All right. Well, that's really good advice. Unfortunately, we've run out of time, but I want to thank you so much for joining us. This was Dr. Erica Smithwick, Distinguished Professor of Geography here at Penn State, member of Science Moms, and most importantly, mother of three. We wish you a happy Mother's Day, and thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you. Happy Mother's Day.
Thanks. We'll be back in a moment with more.